What is up, everybody? It is July 3rd, 2025. I am currently in Destin, Florida on vacation with my family. This is an interesting place for me to come back to after, it's been around 5 years since I came here last as well. And last time I came here, I was 17 years old. I was just starting to sort of like wake up in life and realize that there was more to life than school, 9 to 5, retire, and then pass on. And at that time, I really had no idea how the fuck I was going to achieve the goals that I wanted to achieve. I had a lot of like big dreams, big ambitions, but I had absolutely no clue how I was going to get to them. And for a couple years, that continued. And there was a lot of reasons behind that why I didn't make change sooner that I won't go into on this video because that's not the scope of what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about today is how much my life has changed since that time, and coming back here as I've reflected on my journey over the past year when I first came into high ticket sales, because around July 3rd was also when I got my first high ticket sales role. I was an outbound SDR for an Airbnb offer, to now where I am now and how much high ticket sales has changed my life since then. I just want to talk about my journey, where I came from, where I'm at now, and where I actually want to go from here and where I want to be a year from now. So, starting with my past, like I said, I was lost. I had ambitions, I had goals. I knew I wanted to have a bigger life for myself, but I didn't have the confidence in myself to find the fucking way to get there and do whatever it took to make it happen. And for years, I suffered as a result of that, constantly hooking on to different things and having low commitment towards what little I did try. I kind of just stuck with the status quo, went to college, did 2 years of an associate's degree, but I made one decision after that associate's degree that changed my life. And instead of going and continuing my computer science degree to go into a job that I didn't want just to be able to get money to eventually fund a business, because that was my mindset at the time, I decided to take a gap year, go against the grain, go against my family's wishes, and try to find another way for myself. And I did that and almost regretted it because I kind of just didn't do anything, even while I was still in that gap year situation. I was working multiple jobs that weren't making any progress towards my actual goals. And I was still struggling, still trying to move something together, but nothing would work. And instead of getting help, instead of getting the right mentorship, I kind of just stayed stuck in the status quo. All of that changed when I found a YouTube video from one of my mentors. One of my mentors, he's still a mentor and friend to me today. I found one of his YouTube videos online, and he basically explained the fact that high ticket sales or sales in general is the best skill that a young man can go for who wants to achieve freedom. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. But of course, in my procrastinator's mindset, I kind of just brushed it off and continued going about my status quo. However, while I was at work, I was a deli worker, so at a grocery store at Publix. So I was cutting meat and cheese and making sandwiches for 6 to 8 hours a day, probably 6 days a week. And I met someone while I was making sandwiches around mid-March 2024, and he was a 17-year-old kid. He was a door-to-door salesman, and he told me that he made $64K in one summer selling pest control door-to-door. And I was thinking to myself, I was thinking to myself about that video that I saw from my mentor. I didn't know he'd be my mentor at the time, but I was like, shit, I need to look into that again. Because if this kid's making $64K in a summer selling door to door, what can I do online? So I started looking into high ticket sales online much more and learning a little bit more about it. On the other hand, that kid actually invited me to join the company. So he put me in contact with his sales manager, and I had an interview with the guy, and he was ready to hire me. He was actually ready to have me go out to a team in Wisconsin to sell pest control door to door. So I was faced with a decision because at this point I had done research on sales. I knew the power that it had, and I was very interested in getting started. So I had a decision to make. Do I go door to door, or do I focus on online sales? I made the decision to focus on online sales because the living situation with the pest control selling just wouldn't be ideal. And it was so fast. It came up very suddenly. So I was like, I'm going to wait on that opportunity and focus on high ticket sales. So I committed to that. Then something interesting happened as well. Once I decided I'm going to try to focus on remote sales, I joined my mentor school community and joined my first call. And I joined this call. I distinctly remember I was driving back from a road trip because I went to go see the full solar eclipse. And I joined the call from my car. And I was driving, and I was immediately hooked. I was immediately so interested in the concepts they were talking about, the communication, the frameworks, how to move somebody on a call from not being ready to make a decision all the way up to actually making an investment in themselves to get to their goals. It was fascinating to me. You know, it was for the first time I'd really truly been exposed to like a powerful sales framework, and I was hooked. So I began vigorously studying that school community, and I joined another community to continue to build skills. And there, I joined every live call, like scrimmage, practice call that I could join. I ran my first role plays, and I sucked in the beginning. I really did, but I was committed to getting better. So I kept practicing, and people in my sales community saw my hunger. I couldn't afford to invest in a mentorship at the time. I really wanted to make something work, but I literally just couldn't. But I did invest in the best communities I could at the time. And the people inside of that community saw the hunger in me. They saw the drive that I had. So I was able to land my first SDR role pretty quickly. In about a few weeks after I started attending calls relentlessly, I was able to, as soon as I started looking, basically get an SDR role. And for 3 months after that, I kind of struggled in sales, in my SDR role. I was calling pretty much cold leads. I was calling older leads, outbound. I had a lot of, great experiences on those offers. It really, because I was still getting sets and making things happen, and I would always push to try to be the person on the team who makes the most impact. So even if I wasn't making too much sets, I would do my best to be doing better than the rest of the people in the group. That was always my goal. And I did everything I could to bring as much value to the company as I could. So I really focused on that in my SDR roles, and my sales manager saw that, and they really wanted to see me succeed and see me win, which was awesome. And another thing I did was I invested in my first mentorship, first like actual mentorship, and that was I did a one-on-one with someone from the Objection Box. We did a one-to-one sort of coaching with them, and they guided me through how to get better as a setter, how to be a better leader on a setting call, how to build a bigger gap. And this really not only helped me improve my skill set, but it also helped me find the role that I'm still on today. Because after that mentorship, a few weeks after, my mentor who coached me one-to-one on my outbound calls actually hooked me up with an inbound setting role, where I would basically be calling leads who had booked in from marketing and confirm them for the closer, and basically do like a phone triage for them. I found that role, and that role changed my fucking life. No sugarcoat around it. I absolutely fucking changed everything for me. In my first month there, I was able to do like 3K, my first like half month, and then the next month I did 6K, and I did another 6K. And that fucking changed my life. And just looking back on it, it's so crazy. Because 6 months ago, I had just had like my last day working at that supermarket at Publix. And the feeling that I had walking out of that place for the last time, I'll never forget it. It felt like liberation. And it felt like all of the blood, sweat, and tears I'd put in over 3 months of, making less than 1K per month, working, coming home, dialing for 3-4 hours, and rinsing, repeating, it was all worth it at that moment. I'll never forget it. It was an amazing transformation. And 6 months later, I still am on that role. I consider it to be my home. I love the people that I work with on that role, and the offer is awesome. It gets great results for people. It's a trading offer, so yeah, as that's sort of what brings me to where I am today, 6 months in. What that role also allowed me to do was invest in mentorship for myself. I was able to invest in closing mentorship. I've been in two, and I just recently invested in a third mentorship with absolute killers in the space. Um, they've made me much better at closing, and now I'm at a point where I'm still doing that role, and now I'm also closing part time because I want to maximize both skill sets for myself. So my next goal is to be able to consistently close deals part time while still staying at my current trading offer setting role that I consider to be my home still. So lots of amazing things happening, and I'm confident that in the next few months I will be hitting my first $10,000 month. That was my goal coming into this. It's not the end goal for me because I'm thinking much bigger and at a long-term, 2 to 3 year scale of where I actually want to be and what I want to be doing with myself and what I want to be doing for others. That said, and I can talk about those goals on another video, but that said, where I want to be within the next 3 months is hitting my first 10K month, which I know is absolutely possible with A, the level of skill set I've developed so far since investing in mentorship, and B, the level of income I have proof of concept of me making at my setting role. So all that needs to happen now is I just need to continue to improve my closing skills and have more calls every day. So I've got 2 part-time closing offers right now. So I should have plenty of calls. When I get back from this vacation, I'm locked in for my first 5-figure month and to continue making 5-figure months from there consistently so that I can achieve my goal of eventually being a closer that's making 20 to 30K per month. And I'll talk more about those goals on another video. So I have thoughts on that too. More thoughts on that. However, that's my first video. I just want to share how much high ticket sales has really changed my life, and the fact that this is fucking possible for, like, if you're watching this video and in a similar position to me, that's another one of my goals in life, really, is to be able to show people that they can actually they can actually make money online. Because I had no idea that I could actually make money online. I didn't think it was possible for me. I honestly didn't. I looked at e-commerce, I looked at trading, like, this stuff wouldn't work for me. So I can't make money online. But looking at ticket sales and being in this industry for a year, there's so many ways for you to make it. There's so many ways for you to escape the status quo and actually be able to build a life for yourself of freedom and joy and fulfillment. So if I can even give one person that hope that I had and give that person enough confidence to really commit to something, whether it's high ticket sales or something else, then that's another fucking mission that I achieved in my life. So yeah, that's the impact that I want to have with this. And then one of the reasons I'm in this game is to change as many people's lives as possible, because that's what you are as a high ticket salesperson, is you're driving change for people because they're attracted to these offers for the same reasons that I was attracted to high ticket sales. They want freedom, they want wealth, they want happiness, fulfillment. And being able to give that to someone, for me, is the highest fucking joy in this life. So I look forward to using this YouTube channel as a conduit for that, uploading consistently and creating content for you guys that shares my journey, shares the learnings that I've had in my mentorships and in my journey so far, and just document the adventure of me getting to those 20, 30K months in high ticket sales and even going beyond that in the future. So again, I look forward to starting this YouTube channel and kicking it off strongly with you guys. That's it. Thank you for attending my TED Talk, and look forward to having more.